Do you feel like you're being left behind by the AI trend? Do you not know where to start? Over the last year, I've been on a journey with AI Builder in Microsoft. In this video, I'm going to share some of the tips and tricks that I've learned that have made my prompts faster, stronger, and work better. I am going to share those with you so that you can train your prompts faster and more quickly so that you can get back to doing what you do best. Stay tuned for the end where I show you how I make sure that my prompts work best with my flows. Ready to revolutionize your flows? So let's get started. For those of you that aren't familiar with AI Builder, inside of Power Automate, we're going to go to the AI Hub, and inside of the AI Hub, there's going to be the Prompt tab. Once we click on the Prompt tab, it's going to provide us with all these possible prompts that Microsoft has given us pre-selected, pre-developed for you to use. These are perfectly good, perfectly usable. If you have a task that fits into one of these peg holes, use them, right? No reason to recreate the wheel just because. But if you have a square peg, don't try to jam a square peg into one of these round peg holes, right? You can create your own peg hole by building your own prompt. When you build your own prompt, you can add your own inputs, and you can use your own knowledge, and it's all you can use these other prompts. We're not going to worry. The first thing that you need to understand is, and this is very, very important, is that AI is smart. It's smart like a 5-year-old, a precocious, smart 5-year-old, right? So it's only going to know what it is that you have told it. If you haven't told it everything about the task that you want it to do, then you are going to get some surprising results. We're going to start off with what I started with, and you're going to see exactly how this gave us an unexpected result and how I adjusted it from there. Just so that you all understand, I'm building this flow for a inventory report that I'm building so that it analyzes 3 weeks worth of data and provides me an analysis to tell me whether or not I need to order supplies. Okay? Okay, so I've given it some preliminary information. Now I'm going to give it some steps. First step is analyze for the given SKU. And for the SKU, I'm going to add a text input. And as part of my flow, this is going to be one of the text inputs for my flow. And so then that'll be an input that is there. I need to analyze something. So I need to add another, and we're going to pass in, and this will be the inventory report. And my plan is to pass in a string data, right? And so it'll be comma separated. And for this sample, it's just going to be a very simple value, because I want to make sure that I have a very clean-cut result. All right? And so now I'm going to save my result, save my test, and test the prompt. All right, so as I look at this, it's not recognizing that each number belongs to a separate week, and it's not recognizing that that number is trending down, right? So I'm going to have to tell it that that number is trending down. We don't need to change everything. We just need to make a small incremental change. AI Builder prompt did not recognize the data that I gave it belonged to 3 different weeks. It said it had 3 different sets of data, but it said it was all together. And so it said, all right, well, that's all together. And so it just added them all together and said, all right, I have 1,200 units, therefore I'm good. So now I'm going to have to tell it, no, each one of those belongs to a different week. Once you that each data point given or total inventory for the given week data. Okay, once again, we're only making a small incremental change. We want to see how it reacts to this change. All right, so we're going to test the prompt. And so now we're looking at this. The prompt knows that the trend is going down, but it doesn't understand the rate at which it is going down, and it doesn't understand how to calculate that rate of going down. So we need to tell it how to calculate that rate. All right, so I've finished typing in the changes. And now we're going to save the prompt and test it again. Okay, so now when we look at it, we see that it's calculating the week 2 daily values, the week 3 daily values, and it's coming up with the conclusion that yes, we do in fact have sufficient inventory to last for 10 days after week 3 based off of our current inventory. Awesome, that's exactly the results that we wanted to get. But let's test it a little bit further. So let's go back into our values and let's change what our sample data is. And let's change it to say 300 and 150 there, okay? And let's save that and let's do another test. So now you can see based off of this test that our current based off of our current inventory, no, we do not have sufficient inventory. Unfortunately, this is not really a good result if we're trying to use this in Power Automate. This is not very useful at all. So, as I promised, now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in order to make this usable in Power Automate. So I'm going to come over here, change my output from a text output to a JSON output. And then I'm going to hit test prompt, and it's going to give us this value. Well, that's still not really quite what I wanted. So I'm going to come over here again, and then it's going to say if sufficient inventory exists, output true, otherwise output false. So I'm just going to give it a straight true false Boolean, and that is something that I can use very easily. And we're going to test this again. So there you have it. Sufficient inventory is false. But if I had sufficient inventory, it would be true. And I can use that now very easily in Power Automate as a true and false. Also, this comes through as a very easy JSON that my Power Automate will understand, and I can go back and I can look at it inside of my Power Automate responses, and I can see exactly how this response came through to understand exactly why it came back as a true or a false. So as you can see, using AI Builder prompts is really not all that challenging. The two biggest things that you have to remember when you're dealing with this is one, you have to treat it like a 5-year-old, right? You have to tell it exactly what it is that you want it to do. If you don't tell it exactly what it is that you want it to do, it will not do it. Or it's going to do something completely different, okay? The second thing that you got to do is make incremental changes. Change a little bit here, tinker a little bit there. You're going to slowly get to where you want to do. And then the bonus tip, use the JSON output. It's going to save yourself a lot of time once you want to use this in Power Automate. Thanks for your time. Remember to hit subscribe and like down at the bottom. Thanks.